checking in those bags, shopping when we land. Big FN bag of ballin'. Plead the fifth if I get caught, they talk. Came through dripping on them, I been saucing.
Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video on this channel. Today I'm going over my personal trading journal and showing you guys how I personally collect my data for my trading, my live trading. You can either do this for your bad testing, right? If you're taking bad testing using like a program like FX Replay, you can maybe jot down your trades here in this journal, or you can also do forward testing, which is fake money, or you do live testing, which is obviously taking these trades live, which is what I do, and then I put them into my journal. I'm basically here today to show you guys my journal. So go from here. Here are my stats for this quarter. Okay, so far I started been using this journal template since July to the end of August. So it has been perfectly 3 exact full months. Okay, and my win rate so far I've been pretty satisfied with. I'd like to get it to a 70% win rate if possible. My risk reward typically is 4, but this past quarter I've been taking a lot of lower risk reward trades, so it's gone down a little bit in terms of risk reward, but I'm satisfied with the win rate. It's just the risk reward could be a little bit better at 4 risk reward. Nonetheless though, account gain, I've been risking 1% per trade typically. You guys know I mainly trade my personal account now. I used to trade with these firms, right? I used to, but things have changed a little bit in terms of the prop firm space. Some is uncertainty, some denied payouts. I'm not gonna go too deep into it really on which firms, things like that. But I'm just letting you guys know, at the end of the day, personal account really is the best bet, right? Because if you really want to take this as a full-time career, like me, then you need a personal account. It is essential. If you don't have a personal account, or at some point plan on opening a personal account, you won't last long here in this industry, because relying on these platforms to pay you out is not sustainable in the long run. So here's my stats: 220 trades across 3 months, so roughly averaging about 75 trades per month, which is reasonable. Majority of my trades, you can see, I take during New York session. I rarely trade London. That's not during my time zone. It's just not fun. I used to trade London a lot before I started journaling this, but not anymore. I just cut it out. It was just bothering my health a lot, so it took up too much time. I mainly stick with New York session. If I can't find a setup within New York, I will likely go to Asia session. So that's typically why I have some trades in the Asia session as well. Here are my setups, different win rates for each one so far, data collected, and obviously buying and selling, I've been roughly around the same win rate-ish. Obviously buying makes more sense because I like to trade mainly gold and ES, and obviously you guys know so far those two assets have been going up a ton the past 3 months, especially gold breaking all-time highs and creating all-time highs now. So makes sense why buying is slightly higher win rate. But again, if you understand how trading works, okay, you always have your high time frame direction, but there are intraday days on a daily candle where we will have pullbacks on a daily chart for daily structure, and therefore those days, if you're buying, regardless of if we're an option or not, if you don't understand pullback phases, mitigation phases, and expansion phases, you will get cooked in the market. So that is something else I do teach within the mentorship and course, and all the members know about that. You have the external and internal trend. Entry time frame, I basically mainly enter off 1 minute. I tested out 5 minute for a little bit with my algorithm, like programmed, but it's just too slow for me personally. Like the average trade time was around like 80 minutes, and it just doesn't suit my style, right? I don't like waiting 80 minutes for maybe a TP to hit or a stop loss to hit. I'd rather wait 5 minutes for a stop loss to hit and 30 minutes for a TP to hit with my 1 minute entries. So that is why I decided to stop the 5 minute entries with the algo and mainly focus on mainly trading off the 1 minute with the setups and strategies I teach in the course. Here are the exact trades, okay, I've taken so far. 43 active trading days. I've been slacking just a little bit, okay. Some days I decide not to trade, or there's just no setup, and I've been trying to recently actually focus on higher quality setups. So taking A+ setups only kind of thing, right? That will improve your win rate, but you also have less trades, and that's something you need to balance out. Whether you're someone that doesn't mind missing some trades, or someone that really wants to take every trade, that is something up to you. As long as you have data behind what you're trading and that works, you have an edge, which is what I do. and which is why I teach this strategy, because it has an edge. You can see I go over each and every single one of my trades, the pair, session, whether or not it's outside my kills on the session timings that I tell like group members, the date as well, obviously, right? And I programmed or add a little bit of code, just a little bit. It's a very simple code, right? Just in spreadsheet, Google spreadsheet, and it just essentially calculates certain things, right? You know, calculate certain things within these columns so I can keep track of my data and not have to manually count them. I go over my entry time frame, buy and sell, which setup type I'm using, very self-explanatory there. PO time frame, this is something I've recently been tracking a lot, right? Which also track internal trend and external. This is very important also, because those that take in the course, you guys know there's a big difference between the internal trend and external, and you need to understand fractally how these two work together, or it's going to be much harder for you to maintain a good win rate. Okay, so that's what I've been keeping track of. You guys can see, obviously I changed the colors, so counter is red, pro is blue. I didn't want to make it green just because it just didn't match the style and the color theme of the thing. It just looked ugly, so I just have that blue. Why not? Obviously, you guys can see I tried my best to mechanically define external and internal structure, which is something I'd recommend you guys to do as well. POI type, POIs I teach, flips, origins, and inducement mainly. Okay, I rarely take inducement. Almost always will be off a flip or origin. I don't have any code added here. I should probably add some code here on which POIs I've been taking my trades off. So that's going to be something I will do at the end of this video when I'm done recording this. But you can see, right, I have a lot of columns for my data collection as well. Trading view screenshot, very important here, right? Copy and paste using the trading view feature. Copy and paste your exact chart setup and paste the link here. All you do is click on it and then click on that link, and it'll go straight to the chart, which is just very efficient, very effective instead of copying an entire picture here. R secured, right? Obviously, risk reward. My algo is just strictly -1 or 1, but manual trading, it all varies a lot, right? Recently, I've taken quite a few break evens, but for some pretty good risk reward trades for sure as well. You see trade outcome, obviously, right? Wins or loss. Break even trade management. This is where I mark out if it's good break even or bad break even, right? Good break even means I prevented a loss. Bad break even means unfortunately it later ran to TP. And of course, the break even system I use. These are things I teach in the course exactly, specifically, what they are. Some people won't understand this, and it's fine. I also keep track of whether I'm not catching majority of the trade or not before it hits break even. I do very well. I think this is about 70% of the time. I'm trying to get this to maybe 80 or 90% so I can capitalize the most off my winning trades. As you can see, you're not going to be perfect in trading, so you can never expect 100% of anything, but you can try your best to get close to it. And then obviously, if not, how much R did it run? Some of these trades ran huge risk reward, right? 14, 22, 17, some crazy risk rewards. But again, I like to be realistic with my trading, so I'd rather take more realistic conservative TPs that make more sense to how price is moving structurally and understand mitigation. Target, obviously target is very self-explanatory. You guys can understand this, right? If you're taking the course. Price delivery as well, very important to me. I've been collecting this data so far on price delivery to see how much it affects the win rate, and we'll just see. Drawdown, okay, right? Majority of my trades have very minimal drawdown, as you guys can see. Some trades have a lot of drawdown. This is just more of a stop loss management thing that I've been testing out to see if I can squeeze the most risk reward without affecting my win rate too much, right? So that's what I've been using it for. And you kind of want to make sure each of these columns of data you're collecting is important data for the most part, like something useful that you can quantify that data scientists would use. For example, they would like obviously how much of the trade are you cashing? That's very important data to collect and refine on, right? The average trade duration, I've been thinking of removing this column for a while because it's, to me, it doesn't matter that much because I already know my data. My average trades with my 1 minute model is really average 20 minutes. Okay. And the stop loss typically gets hit within 5 minutes because I'm targeting high risk reward. That's just naturally how it works. So we'll see on that. And then I have also my daily bias to see how it's going right now. And yeah, I just click that. And then additional comments. Obviously, you guys can understand this, right? Just type in what you think is important. I should actually remove this tiny drawdown. This part, this does not matter because I had a column for that. So that's why there's no need to talk about drawdown here in comments. And that is why I like to create these columns, right? Because it removes the need to really draw or type basically data like this when you can see immediately with a drop down tool. So you guys see there's some trades I just talked about drawdown where it's just no need, right? Because I already see it off the drop down. But these other additional comments of something that I see, you obviously want to learn from your winners, right? But most importantly, you really want to learn from your losers. That's like the missing component of your trading. You want to learn from your losers. You want to always try to find a way to see if you could prevent that kind of setup or losing trade in the first place. Because you can never get 100% win rate or something very close to 100%, right? So you need to understand and distinguish between a valid loser versus a invalid loser. So losers that are just you following the plan and this is probabilities playing out, or a loser where you force something emotionally, or it's just not your setup, or there's some other confluence that was not there and you took the trade. So collect that data on there. Not secure. This is very common sense, right? I just added some code to this. Where is it? Oh yeah, here it is. So yeah, I could change it to risk percent per trade if I'd risk 5%. I just had 100K as starting balance. This is not my actual balance. I just had 100K because that's what it was default. But obviously you can see I would have grown the account to 1.6 million from 100K in about 3 months if I was risking 5%. Now, personally, I would never risk 5%. That is a big percent to risk. Even if you know you're profitable, it doesn't matter because psychologically, just believe me, you will not be able to handle that amount of drawdown. Your drawdown is going to be huge. Even if with a good win rate, you will still have a pretty significant drawdown period because 5%, losing 5 trades in a row, you're already down a fourth of your whole entire account. That's awful, right? That's not good. So typically, the risk parameters that I follow for my personal account and any fund accounts I do is 1% or less. I never go over that unless it's a challenge account. Then at this point in my stage, yeah, sure. But if it's a funded account or if it's personal account, don't go over 1%. I'd prefer stay under that, and just keep it consistent as well, right? And you can still see it growing it nicely with 1%. It'll be 4 times the starting balance, right? After 3 months of hard work, collecting data, and trading. So that's it for this video. You guys can see basically my journal. Sneak peek into my journal. I do have a service that I offer also on the website if you're not interested in the course or mentorship and maybe you already have something that's working for you and you just want to see my trades really, I guess, from my past trades. On my website there is a trading journal. I think it's called private trading journal, right? Product, and it's just a one-time payment. And essentially you just pay one time and I give you private access to this document and you can see how I journal my trades and my thought process behind each trade, essentially. That's only for those that are interested in that as well. None of this is an obligation. Feel free to find whatever works best for you, take the best route for your personal trading journey because everyone's on a different path, right? But I just truly believe, trust me, if you take the smart route of learning trading, you will not regret the amount of time you put in. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. That's basically it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, looking through my journal and how much data I am collecting. You guys can see just about 26 columns, right? More than that of data I collect for each and every single trade. And this is really something, if you want to take trading seriously, I wouldn't say you have to do this, but it's really crucial, because looking back on data, it will help you with your psychology as well. You think in probabilities rather than thinking in a gambler mindset of hitting 1 or 2 big trades, and you see how consistency really adds up across 220 trades, risking 1% only, quadrupled the count. You don't need 2 to 3 big winning trades. In fact, I would not recommend that, because that's gambling, and we want to see long-term consistency. That's the end goal of all traders. So that's it for this video. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Join the free Discord as well as on the website, and I will see you guys in the next one.